Timmy, do you like Chinese food?
Big Chinese food guy.
What's your go-to order?
Orange chicken.
Orange chicken?
Can't miss.
Fried rice or white rice?
Fried rice, for sure.
Soup?
Big soup guy.
Hot and sour or wonton?
Wonton.
Fortune cookie, just read it or eat it too?
Reed. So, barber.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Timmy. We're out.
Hey Tim, I've asked Dylan this as well after the game, but how was having Dylan back to give your team extra energy? How did you guys feel?
It's great, man. I think he's a great team guy for us. Besides his crazy amount of talent that he has, he just brings a great passion and energy to our games and our practices. There's been plenty of times throughout the year where he's diving on the floor, just elevating our practice, just possession by possession. And it's going to be a little process with him getting back, coming off an injury. But, he's got a great amount of talent, and he puts his heart into this game. So he's just going to help us a lot down the road.
Timmy, you guys are obviously getting closer and closer to conference season. Where do you think you guys are?
I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we're a little further behind than we want to be. I think we still got a lot of things we want to prove, more to ourselves than to anybody else. I think we're a lot better than we've showed. But it's a work in progress. We've only played 8-9 games now, so we're just trying to take steps in the right direction every day in practice and in games. Just keep working out our little kinks, and we think we're heading in the right direction, but our urgency is very high right now.
And then, just what about the opportunity this weekend going out to Vegas to take on this?
It's a big opportunity for us. We're playing a really good Stanford team, somebody who I'm very familiar with. A lot of smart guys, coach very well, and they play hard. So it'll be a good test for us at a neutral site. So we're excited for the opportunity.
Jeff? Timmy, I know we've asked you guys a lot about what you learned about yourselves after the Gonzaga game early in the year, but looking back at the Seton Hall game, what would you learn about yourselves as a team as you guys continue to grow?
I think we learned a couple things. We have to be very disciplined, especially on the road. We're a team who's very talented, but that's not going to win us games. We have to limit our mistakes as much as possible and play team defense together. We're not a team who can just outscore teams because we have guys who can put the ball in the bucket. So just honing in on our little details and our team concepts and limiting our mistakes down the stretch is going to help us take that next step.
You said you have a lot to prove to yourselves. Can you give us a list of things that you want to prove to yourself as a team?
I think the big thing is just winning tough games, winning hard games. We've all been in a lot of close games individually at our other programs that we couldn't get done. So I think now it's just proving that we could all do it together and win tough games, one-possession games on the road, in tough crowds and tough environments. So I think that's the biggest one for us.
Chris, how surprised are you that you guys aren't where you thought you would be? Because you said, not where you thought you'd be and you got all that work. How surprised are you that you are where you are right now?
We're not where we want to be, but I don't think we're far off. Firstly, we're a bunch of new guys. No one expected it to be completely smooth, but I don't think we're far off at all. We got all the pieces. We just need to hone in on our little details and just stick to the script. There's no one night over answer, so it's just an everyday process of getting better.
Is that something you think maybe we've overlooked, seeing all the talent that is on the court, that it still takes some time for that talent to gel together?
I don't know what y'all think, to be honest. We're not very worried about it.
Yeah, don't blame us. What can you tell your guys about Stanford? You just haven't, because you played them.
Yeah, they're talented. They've always got some real talent. They're coached very well. They're always a big physical team who comes and plays very hard. And they know who they are. They don't really play outside themselves, and I think they do a good job of that, and that's what helps them win games. So we can't beat ourselves in this game. They're trying to make us make mistakes, and let us make mistakes. So we just got to play the right way and play defense. And this is a big opportunity for us.
One or two last ones? Jeff? Timmy, I know the block Dylan had the other night. I know that everybody looked at it as a highlight reel play, but how much does his presence as a rim protector, as a rebounder, how much does that help you guys?
I mean, a lot. I mean, that's something that we've been lacking a little bit. We're still looking for guys to make plays. I mean, it always doesn't have to be a block, but I mean, taking charges, getting deflections. But I think that's something Dylan can bring to our team for sure. I mean, he shows it every day in practice. So his rim protection, just his presence around the rim, being able to alter shots, will for sure help us down the stretch, and it's big for our team.
Jeff Jones. Appreciate it. Staying on the defensive side of the ball, hold the team to 31 points is impressive. What do you guys do best on defense?
I think it's just when we're very locked into our principles and what we have to do, keeping it on the side and being ready to rotate and help the helper. I think that's when we're at our best. Sometimes we're just not as locked into the detail of that, and we just got to stick to our script, and we know what we need to do, and when we do that, we're very good. So I think it's just that simple.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate questions for Coach.
Coach, how are you going to handle the Stanford star freshman Harrison?
Harrison's a good player. He's from our home state in Dallas, and we had a chance to recruit him a little bit when he was younger. He's a talented guy. Stat sheet, he's their leading scorer, leading rebounder in some games, leading assist player. He's a good player. He's a positionless guy. We'll have to have a team approach. There's a lot of players like Harrison in college basketball that aren't one-on-one guys. It'll take our team defense, and we'll have to make him play on the other end as well.
Chris, how much changes with what you can do with your lineup with Dylan back? I mean, is it as simple as saying you push Timmy to the 3 and Trey to the 5 and now you're a little bigger? Or, I mean, how many different combinations can you use with him in terms of size?
Yeah, lots of things. The big thing is all three forwards can shoot. Trey and CB and Dylan are all really good shooters, so they can really space the floor. I think the possibilities are endless on the offensive end. I think the defensive end is where there's still just a lot of questions. Because most teams we play 4 perimeter players and 1 big, and so which of those guys can guard outside of their primary position. So a lot of those things come down to defense stuff. Offensively, we're really confident we can play all sorts of ways because all 3 guys can shoot.
Chris, when you're doing non-conference schedules and you're looking to play another Power 5 opponents, do you like the home and home going to a true road environment? Do you prefer a neutral site? Would you rather do more of the MTEs? How do you look at just Power 5s and non-conference?
Yeah, scheduling's always, I think, specific to the job you have. We had a different philosophy when we were at Little Rock than we did, when we were at Lubbock or now at Austin. So I think it's got a lot to do with, the job, the team you have, kind of the expectations. So, at Texas, we want to play the best schedule we possibly can. The first year, there's a small asterisk next to it because a lot of the schedule was done. And a lot of the schedule we were putting together when we didn't know our team, and then kind of late in the game. But I think ultimately we want to play a schedule that prepares us for Big 12 conference play. I do like this first year schedule. I think RT did a great job on it. I think as the year goes on, you'll see some of these teams we played will end up winning their conferences and things like that. Obviously with Tennessee and Seton Hall and Gonzaga and Stanford, you get 4 BCS games. In terms of home and away, the Big 12, they got us playing the SEC and the Big East game now, so that's going to give you 1 true road game a year. Not a lot of people like to push it past 1. This year we push it to 3, right? Because we played Seton Hall in their gym, we played Gonzaga in their gym. So some people think that was crazy. Some people think that was courageous. My whole deal is we're just trying to get our team ready, and I think we'll look back and these games will accomplish that. And so this is our next opportunity on Sunday, playing a team that's projected to be in the NCAA tournament. Just beat Oregon the other night, so Stanford's a good team.
With Timmy saying that he thought the team would be further along, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love to hear guys like Timmy say that because that just means he has high expectations. I think other basketball guys could sit around this table and say that we're not behind schedule. I mean, let's think about this, guys. We played the number 1 team in the country in their home gym, the second game of the season. So as again, courageous, foolish, everybody's got kind of a different look on that. I love the game and the opportunity for our team because I knew we would grow and learn from it. We did. Um, we play Seton Hall, which we'll see how this plays out. But I think Seton Hall could win the Big East. I mean, they're really good. You guys saw that, and we got a 2-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game. We just didn't make the plays down the stretch. We go 1 for 13 from three. It's not taking anything away from them. They beat us. It was their game. I told Coach that after the game. Congratulations. So it's whatever way you look at it. We're sitting here, and if we'd won Seton Hall, is that question asked? I don't know. So to me, far more important than records and stuff, it's where your team is moving. And I think with Timmy, I don't want to speak for him, but I know Timmy well. He's just very, very, very have high expectations. Timmy believes he can play in the NBA. I do too. Timmy believes that we can play in the Final Four our first year at Texas. I do too. And so Timmy's always going to be one of those guys with high expectations, which is the reason I love him.
Chris, when you know, the end of the Seton Hall game, when you've got one of those shooting slumps or you go, 3.5 minutes without a field goal, for you as a coach, how is that process of figuring out, do you slow things down, do you try to push the ball, who needs the ball in their hands? What is that like when you've got one of those prolonged slumps?
It's a lot of things. The first thing we think about is our defense, because you have to score off your defense. Like in an NCAA tournament game, you can't just come down the floor every time and score enough points to win the game just with your offense. You got to get special team baskets. To me, that's out of bounds plays, that's presses, that's punches, that's a late shot clock special player getting a basket kind of outside of your offensive idea. Just made some plays. You have to get a certain amount of percentage points off of offensive rebounding, second possessions, and you have to get a certain amount of offensive production off your defense. I think the other night in Seton Hall, the blazing thing that just jumped off the game is we couldn't manufacture any offense when we needed it most because shots weren't going down. We had a low turnover game. We executed. We had the ball in the right player's hand. We just weren't making baskets. So it's two things. Can we go get our misses? We missed 12 threes in that game. Can we go get 4 or 5 of those misses and stick them in? That's how you win. Or while we're struggling a little bit on that end, can our defense pick us up? And it goes both ways. There's going to be other nights where you get into a rhythm where you just can't get a stop for a while because the other team's really good. Can your offense keep you afloat? Can you score 5 or 6 straight times down the floor? So the offense has to help the defense. The defense has to help the offense. But where my mind always goes first is, can we get some easy baskets? Can we get an easy basket off a defensive stop? And that's a change of mindset for many of our players, and we're working on it. And I think the guys' hearts are in the right places. They want to get this thing figured out. It's just the reality of it is it takes time.
Hey, Coach. So this season you played at a very slow pace as far as possessions per game. You're in 53rd in the nation. Is that by design, or is that something you think about?
Definitely not by design. I think each game's a little different. Like the Pine Bluff game the other night's a great example. It was our lowest possession game of the season, but I think you got to understand. Solomon Bozeman's a good coach. He came in here with a game plan. They were killing the clock on offense, and our guys grinded in, and we had patient defense. We weren't fouling. We played the first 10 minutes of the game, and I think they scored a point. So, but the possessions of the game, are dictated on a lot more things other than the way we'd like to play. We want to play fast. I mean, we want to advance the ball up the floor. We want to get green light shooters, shots on the break. We want to push the ball. It's certainly an emphasis for us. It's something we worked on this morning in practice, but it's our intention to play winning basketball more important than pace. But I do think we need to play faster than we are now, no doubt about it.
Jeff, Chris, you've got this holiday break, and your guys are some of the other students on campus. How do you handle the day-to-day any different with no class? I mean, how does the day-to-day operate?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a unique time for our sport. You think about it, football, all fall semester, baseball, all spring semester, some summer. We're one of the only sports that goes fall and spring with games and everything. So it's a unique time for us. The campus clears out. It's like a ghost town over there, and our guys are just locked in. We're here. And so, this year we play, 1 o'clock on December 22nd, and the guys will get 23, 24, 25 off. We'll report back on 25th night and get back to work 26. So a lot of respect for these players and all the sacrifices they make to play college basketball. Yeah, we absolutely set it up different. I always kind of think about the guys' mental health during this time too, because you can get pretty lonely pretty quick. It's just different. Like goes from being a college town till we're just here. Basically, it's pro basketball, no academic responsibility. So we set up a lot of our stuff in terms of two-a-days. We'll get in, we'll lift and shoot and work a little bit in the morning, then maybe practice in the afternoon, or we'll get up and practice in the morning and come back in the afternoon and lift and shoot and work a little bit. So a lot of two-a-days. Also, just a lot of encouraged things off the court. Like during the school year, guys pretty much kind of bond. There's things going on, but now we'll set it up where we go to the movies one night as a team, or we go do some community service as a team. So and it's a long period too. It's not like classes start back January 5th. It's mid-January now, so we'll be in this mold of like basically just playing basketball for 5 weeks.
Two last ones, Chris, go ahead.
What are you hoping to get out of this trip to Vegas against Stanford? What do you want to see from your guys?
It'd be nice to win the game, but I know they probably feel the same way. It's not like Stanford's going to come over before the game and be like, "Hey, you guys need this more than we do." It's competition, but ultimately, I think the results will come as we continue to kind of develop our identity and who we are. So, I'd like to see us play, defense like we have in some of our home games, but do it on a bigger stage against a BCS opponent. I think offensively, some of the things you guys have mentioned today, I think we need to push the ball more and get more aggressive on the break. We need to continue to find that balance. We got one of our best players, Dylan, coming back, so that adds another equation to this. So we just continue to kind of be a work in progress. But I think as we work on all these things, that scoreboard's pretty important too. I think if we stay committed to defending and rebounding, then we're going to be fine on that scoreboard sooner than later.
Last one, Bob?
Just, do you know how long what the process is in terms of minutes restrictions for Dylan? Like how long that'll last?
Yeah, I don't. I think so. He responded really well from the other night's minutes. Um, Practiced well this morning, so haven't gotten the exact communication with everybody, but I think it's safe to say I don't think it'd be breaking news to say that he'll be allowed to play more minutes in the next game. And then we got a quick turnaround for that Rice game, so we'll just kind of see. But my hope is by the time we get to Big 12 conference play, especially after those first couple, that he's just a full-time player. And a lot of that goes into just kind of how he's responding to everything, and he's responding great. I mean, ahead of schedule, zero problems. It's been really cool to see. Give Dylan all the credit in the world, but then I think you got to give the doctors and Warren, our trainer, a lot of credit too. There's been a lot of people that have gone into this, but here at Texas, we've got the best of the best in terms of support and doctors and resources, and so it's been pretty cool to kind of from the outside looking in, because I'm not in that room. I'm not making those decisions. I coach the team. I let the doctors handle that stuff, but it's been impressive how everybody's worked together. And, Dylan, his family, and everybody. It's been cool to see.